Have you ever looked at the back of a car and just wondered what all those letters actually mean? Well, today we're going on a journey of power, to figure it all out. We're going to trace the path that a car's engine power takes to get to the road and what that means for how that car actually feels to drive. Let's dive in.
Yeah, you've seen them everywhere. On cars, in brochures, on websites, FWD, RWD, AWD, CVT. It can honestly feel like some kind of alphabet soup of engineering terms. So what are they really telling you about how a car drives? Well, believe it or not, it's a lot simpler than you think. You see, at its heart, every single one of those acronyms is just describing a path. Think of it like a delivery service. The engine makes the power, that's the package. But how that package gets delivered to the wheels, that's what defines the car's entire personality. Okay, so our first stop on this journey is, let's call it the control room. Before any power can get sent out to the wheels, it has to be managed, it has to be refined. This is where the car figures out how to use all that raw energy from the engine. And that control room? It's called the transmission. You know, an engine spins incredibly fast, way too fast to be hooked up directly to the wheels. So the transmission is this brilliant piece of engineering that acts as a translator. It uses gears to convert all that high-speed spinning into controllable motion, whether you're just starting out or cruising down the highway. So there are a few different flavors of transmission. First, you've got the manual. This is for the purist, the driver who wants total control and a real connection to the machine. Then there's the classic automatic, which is all about convenience and a smooth, easy ride. And then you have the CVT, which stands for continuously variable transmission. It's the master of efficiency. It doesn't have traditional gears at all, which gives you this perfectly smooth ride and amazing fuel economy. But it can feel and sound a little different if you're used to a traditional automatic. Okay, so the transmission has done its job. The power is managed. Now for the next big question on our journey. Where does that power actually go? Which wheels are going to do the heavy lifting of moving the car? This is where the drivetrain comes into play. The drivetrain is basically the entire delivery network. We're talking about all the shafts, the axles, the joints, everything that takes that refined power from the transmission and gets it to the wheels that put it on the road. Now, the most common setup you're going to find out there today is front-wheel drive, or FWD. And just like the name says, all the power is sent to the front two wheels. A good way to picture it is like a horse pulling a cart from the front. And as you can see, the journey of power here is super short and efficient. The engine and transmission are right up front, and the power barely has to travel to get to the front wheels. It's a really compact and clever design. Now, this simple path gives FWD some fantastic advantages. Because the heavy engine is sitting right over the drive wheels, they get really good traction in slippery stuff like snow and rain. It's also fuel efficient, and it gives you more room inside the car since you don't need a big tunnel running down the middle. The trade-off? If you take a corner too aggressively, FWD cars can sometimes understeer, which is where the front end just wants to push straight ahead instead of turning in sharply. All right, let's flip it around and talk about the classic setup, rear-wheel drive, or RWD. In this case, the power takes a much longer journey to the back of the car where the rear wheels do all the work, pushing the car forward. And you can see that longer journey right here. After the transmission, the power travels down a long, rotating tube called a drive shaft. That shaft runs the whole length of the car to the rear axle, which then finally sends the power to the back wheels. And this one change in the delivery route has a huge impact on how the car feels. You see, spreading all those parts out gives RWD cars a more balanced weight distribution. That's exactly why they're the top choice for sports cars and performance vehicles. The front wheels can focus on steering, and the back wheels can focus on pushing. The downside? Well, there's less weight over the drive wheels, which makes them not so great in snow or heavy rain. And their handling quirk is called oversteer, where the rear of the car can feel like it wants to slide out in a hard turn. So what if you want the best of both worlds? Well, that brings us to all-wheel drive, or AWD. Here, the car basically has a brain that's smart enough to send power to whichever wheel has the most grip, whether that's at the front or the back. The biggest benefit of AWD is, without a doubt, superior traction. I mean, in rain, in snow, or even on a dry, curvy road, having power at all four corners just gives you this incredible sense of stability and confidence. Now, that security does come at a price. It's more mechanically complex, it's heavier, and that can mean you take a small hit on fuel economy compared to a similar FWD car. So, we've looked at how the power is managed and where it's delivered. Now for the really cool part. Let's see how these choices combine to create the personalities of the cars we see on the road every single day. This is where it all clicks. You combine front-wheel drive with a smooth CVT and boom, you've got the perfect efficient commuter. It's economical, easy to drive, totally predictable. But if you pair rear-wheel drive with a manual transmission, now you've got the classic sporty performer, engaging, fun, dynamic. And for that all-weather explorer, you take an all-wheel drive system, pair it with a smooth automatic, and you get that go anywhere, anytime confidence.
You know, understanding all these combinations isn't just for car nerds. It's actually really practical knowledge. It helps you cut through all the marketing hype and match the right car, the right machine to your mission, what you actually need it to do.
And here's a super simple way to think about it. If your life is mostly city driving and you really want to save on gas, a front-wheel drive car with an automatic or a CVT is probably your best bet. If you live for that fun weekend drive on a twisty road, you're going to want to look at a rear-wheel drive car. And if you face harsh winters or you just want the ultimate peace of mind no matter the weather, all-wheel drive is the clear winner.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. There is no single best drivetrain or transmission. There just isn't. The best one is the one that's the best fit for your climate, your driving style, and what you prioritize. The journey of power is different for every car, and the right one for you is definitely out there. But as we look ahead, a really fascinating question comes up. Electric cars are a whole different ballgame. They often put motors right at the wheels, completely getting rid of transmissions and drive shafts. So does that mean this entire complex journey of power that we've been talking about is about to become a relic of the past? It's definitely something to think about as the very idea of a drivetrain starts to change right before our eyes.